Thank you very much, guys. And yes, here we go. So, Toby is joining me at the PEL. It's been about a year and a half, I think we figured out, since we cast together last. Back on those long nights in Stockholm.
Yeah, indeed.
Long nights in Stockholm. But here we are once again. And I want to follow on from what the guys have just been saying. It was obviously... there is a bedding period for a lot of these teams. You know, some of these teams you were casting in contenders for the last two phases as well. The likes, obviously, DESPERADO, formerly Besiktas. N47 have come in. 7 as well, something we didn't really hit on. 7 were high fraggers in the contenders. Didn't really have the greatest of first weeks.
They're one of those type of teams that even though they might seem to be going on a downhill path, they can pull out a 17-kill game. Not saying that's going to happen against this type caliber team, but we've got to keep in mind, in the Kickoff Cup, back between Phase 1 and Phase 2, they were doing really well. They ended up second place there too, so they can play against them.
And something we were just discussing before we started is the amount of severe plane trajectories. And again, this is another pretty harsh one for anyone who wants to get down south. Obviously, looking even Los Leones is a long drop at the moment, which is why we're seeing DA going up towards Oasis right now.
I mean, Picado was barely even reachable, and there's so many teams that have kind of settled on the southern half of this map. So you have GamerLegion all the way up in Ruins, Alcantara, got FaZe up there. They said, you know what, we're not going to fly over the Night Skies to go down to Monte. Let's just get looted and hope that the circle goes in our direction.
Yeah, they've got to figure out. I mean, oh my word.
It didn't.
Okay, I mean, look at that. The Knights even shooting, I think it's Jemty as he's floating down. Snark looked like he's landed early. Jemty's actually taking a car away from power station area. Well, that's how it is. Where else have other people gone? Because M47 and Desperados, they're down south. They're happy because they've managed to reach their landing grounds. So people that are going to have struggling rotations, obviously Digital Athletics, they're going up to Torremada. 7, I don't know what they're trying at the moment. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. That's literally, you know, what we're playing here.
Yeah.
A bit of roulette to figure out where people are going. FaZe are in vehicles. It looks like they may even go down to Monte Nuevo based off this circle. Which makes sense, right? Because if they went to Monte Nuevo, think of the south, there's nobody south of that Monte Nuevo road that goes all the way to Los Leones.
The thing is, if you want to do that southern rotation, even though there's room right now, the circle's going to shrink at some point, and it's going to take time. They pretty much have to traverse the half of the entire map, or the entire width of Miramar, and we all know how hard it is to do these rotations, right? And also Los Leones, that's going to take up a lot of space, and you just, I mean, just for a safety precaution, you just don't drive through that city in Circle 1.
Well, so let's say GamerLegion, you got out the plane first. You're like, yeah, okay, we're gonna go up here. We're gonna go up into Alcantara. This is great. The circle is probably the worst they could have because rotation-wise, it's going to be hard to go south. It's going to be hard to go north. If they go north, they've got to bump through Navi, potentially 7, DA, almost certainly, and probably Raise Your Edge. If they go south, they've got FaZe Clan, CrowCrowd, possibly the Knights if they try and divert that way. NIP, they know that Team Liquid and Picado, but they're probably going to be gone early.
Also, as you said, they jumped out first. They're going in blind. Even though, yes, we know some teams like to go certain places, we have just started week 2, and we're still kind of in the settling period. So there could be teams where they're saying, oh, that would never be anyone here. But as you said, 7, who would expect them to be sitting there right now? If they want to rotate early in this game, they're going to be in for a tough one.
It's going to be a very interesting setup. Obviously, with the circle centering, it's good for G2. It's good for Reciprocity, a team that honestly didn't have a good first week. I spoke to Scoom just before this match began, and he's like, this is the week. We need to have a big week if we want any hope. And the desk just said on it, it is only a 6-week season this time. If they want any hope of reaching PGC, and bearing in mind, obviously, the points will stack towards Phase 3, they have to have a very good start this week. Or it may be too late already.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time the guys will have had a full set of days to go back, dwell over the 15 games that's been played, and hopefully bring, if not something new, then something close to it. And rotation kills could be some of that shit we'll see here. Shots fired over towards Squeak.
It looks like they're going to get away with 2 little damage. They did kind of scatter pretty quickly. miikaz, Rustanmar, and SKUIJKE. It'll be I wouldn't say a week to forget for them. They actually had a pretty good Sunday overall, ENCE did. miikaz just pulling up to give himself some cover. I'm trying to look at the positions they've gone for. So obviously, you know, ENCE are a team that were relatively close to landing in their standard spot area, so they're pretty happy with these compounds. SKUIJKE, nice parking into the tree there, son. not the greatest. But looks like Reciprocity, where they pulled up, I think they're going to be sticking around there at the moment. They haven't moved too much.
Yeah, and they know they're pinned in between both Desperados and Reciprocity, so there's absolutely no reason, like at least not right now, for them to try and go anywhere else. Stick with what you got and wait and see maybe that next circle shifts away, and that can force them to move, and then you can make your play.
DA have now decided their loot was terrible and gone all the way up to Campo Militar instead. They've just said, we had trash loot to begin with, we're going to go up here and get better. 7 rotating around the north side as well. FaZe Clan and CrowCrowd usually close to each other based on the fact that one's Montenuevo, one's Pozo. That's CrowCrowd passing by, so they're choosing to go for the deep south route, way down to Valladolid.
And one of the things that are really tricky around this area of the map that we go to now is normally you can do your splits on the center and the southern side too with different compounds, but because of the terrain here, most compounds don't have vision to the other one, so you can't really split 2-2. Expecting to be able to help out each other if something does happen. See all these rotations, so many teams already now cramming up in the middle of the circle because they just don't want to have to rotate if the circle shifts.
Well, we've had a couple of circles finishing in around here, right? I think the main one, we obviously had the classic recently at Gilal, where we saw the crazy backwards reversing approach from the LATAM team into the compound, but it worked. So hoping to see something like that. Na'Vi coming across. Now they were the ones that actually got caught out in and around El Azahar Road, so they may well be thinking back and thinking, okay, let's get a little further south this time. Across that road, because if you are, I mean, there's a couple of teams like Razor Edge are currently around the edge of El Azahar. DA are going to be doing similar. 7 also coming in. There's that big hill that kind of overlooks El Azahar, which is great if you're up there and it goes that way, but if it pulls away from you, it's very hard to rotate, even with smokes. You're not covering much.
Yeah, you will have a very far way to traverse. You can see all these guys that are coming in late now trying to see if they can do some damage on the run towards one another. But for N47 right now, stopping where they are. Sure, they're inside the circle, but this is people traversing past them. See James, shots fired over towards him. Not a whole lot landed yet, but should be able to get knocked out through this one.
Team look like they pulled up a bit for this. Yeah, Ibi has indeed. Just a couple of shots return fire on T-Bone and Evil there. He confirmed it was Evil last week as well, although he doesn't really care either way.
He can go with all of it.
But GamerLegion actually just passed in Montenuevo, so FaZe Clan still over at Montenuevo. The blue is now on them. Misa also from CrowCrowd is in no man's land at the moment, sort of La Drillera, way miles away. Are Na'Vi going to do this? Are they going to go for the pull-up? This is going to go straight in. We're going to see the first kill of the week. It is going to be a Pokemon taken down by Miraku, a man that had a fantastic week 1.
And it's kind of ironic because Na'Vi was actually playing this one extremely passive. They're playing it so slow. Ooh, Aitzy almost catching Vex off guard, able to drive on through.
You know
that.
what? The blue might get him.
I was just going to say, the blue, he has to keep going or stop right now and heal.
He's got to stop. He's got to bandage. He's got to do something. He's going to get knocked. He's going to get knocked, and there's no way he's getting that back. Yeah, he's done. He's done. Now, unfortunately, it is a knock, and I think they may be thinking, did we do enough damage? Now, Makanak's going to go back. I think GamerLegion should be able to get him back on his feet.
That is very fortunate. The fact that, because FaZe would never say, oh, obviously it's going to be GamerLegion that loses Alcantara this game, right? So they won't expect that to be them. So seeing that in the kill feed, it's not going to be the immediate, oh, that's a free one, let me go back and get him. That's very, very fortunate for GamerLegion.
It's the blonde hair gang, right, as well. They both dyed their hair blonde
Yep,
for the season. So, okay, M47, this is the little pass-by we saw earlier with Team Liquid. James looks like he's going to try and scout it out and maybe see if he can catch a little lucky knock onto them. Let's have a look across. So, FaZe Clans rotate. They're going over towards San Martin. So, they're kind of taking the most direct path, knowing damn well around about this time, most players and teams will be out of the way, which is the right choice. CrowCrowd, we were talking about them on the southern shift. Oh, MBS caught out. Wanted. Up on the rock. God, how many times have we seen teams up on these rocks getting people off guard?
High ground vision early on in the game is, I mean, that's just alpha omega. You can lock yourself down on the compound, but you might have to leave, and you can see right now a lot of these people will have. Centering around El Azahar, that's going to cause a lot of trouble.
So this is what we're talking about. Razor Edge, they took that gamble, and actually they've won from that hill before. Former, obviously, team, as it were. They've had 2 roster changes since then. Good smoke coverage from Gaxi. So it looks like because Wanted was the man that got the knock on MBS and then conversely got knocked by Na'Vi. They weren't able to finish that kill off. So MBS has managed to survive. He's going to get himself back on his feet. But now the rotates are happening, Toby. This could start getting messy as everyone sort of crowds around LSR.
Yeah, when you have a circle center that no one wants to go to, it forces people to play that further out, and it's going to make it really, really clustered around the edges. We can see down south already so many teams trying to travel up through the southeastern road, and I mean, believe me, there's going to be a roadblock somewhere. DA seems to be one of the teams that might set that up right now.
N47 being aggressive on the pass. The shots coming onto Desperados here. You can just see them, Team Liquid, sort of running parallel. The problem is, if you do go further down this hillside, there's really no cover down there.
Yeah.
The further the position that Jeeves is going, keep on going around that road. Digital Athletics actually are in the little ditch, which I feel that Team Liquid may be aiming for at the moment. Whether they're going to be happy with the compound just off to the right-hand side of Jeeves here, I'm not too sure. I think they're going to scout from that hill.
There's not a whole lot more they can go to, honestly. Once they're cornered in that side of the circle, they just have to continue through. You can't go back. If Desperados commits to try and hold them off, which technically makes sense right now because they don't have anywhere else to go either, then they need to take the fight to them.
So a quick look around. Oh, Reciprocity running a little way too close. Look at Scoom having to heal himself up. Just been knocked down on that bike there. So ENCE catching a couple off guard. This is down the southern edge of the circle. The Knights and NIP, they're still trading blows back and forward while FaZe Clan and GamerLegion still yet to get in the circle along with CrowCrowd. They're all still just coming out of the blue.
And keep in mind, all these engagements we're seeing are on the edge of the circle. You never see that in Circle 2. It's only because the center is so open that everyone is staying where they are. I mean, ENCE, they're saying, we don't want to leave this compound because where would we go? I mean, we can't scout anything from here. We can't go anywhere. Let's just see if we can get some rotation kills.
And from that point of view, TSM have a cracking location. They're actually very greedy spreaders. Well, Dimmick out. That's the bike gang pulling up from GamerLegion, getting themselves their first point of the week. Tiikzu returned, and that is MBS getting a little bit of payback. He did manage to get the knock, and now he's going to have to return the favor and get Gaxi on his feet. Is Wanted going to be able to push that? Is he close enough? He's got to have a nade. Yeah. I hope he's got a nade. I know the players were talking about how few nades they were able to find, obviously, with the adjustments in the patch, which is great in my point of view, but doesn't look like he's going to get him before the revive comes in, so they're both back on their feet.
If Drayden wants to have any chance of getting Reels back up on his feet, they need Wanted to apply some sort of pressure. They cannot just let Gaxi and MPS start shooting in the smoke, and that's exactly what's happening right now. They need Wanted up there to do something, but because he's committing to the rest, there's no one to cover him from that side either.
Team Liquid on the wraparound. Wanted does find and flush. So that was the push we were talking about. That was the little flanking move that's coming up. But look at SIMSY. Look at this play. He's found Ultrastar. Now Gemty's about to peek over. But do they know about Calvin Klein sitting in that building? He's going to pop out, gets the knockdown. He's going to get the flush and confirm. Will take SIMSY down, and Team Liquid were not expecting the backstab.
No, they were hoping that they had pushed further and maybe making some room, and they were to take the hilltop rather than sit in the compound. So that one was for sure a surprise position. But new circle. Oh my.
Okay. Raise Your Edge right now are absolutely loving life. As is TSM,
Yep.
They've just been gifted a crate, by the way. Gustav just waiting for that to drop in his lap. But it means they're going to hold that hillside. Now, where the hell does everyone go? We were talking, I mean, this is what we were talking about, right? FaZe Clan actually are in a great position. So this is Wanted's flank. We saw him coming around. FaZe Clan have the full western edge of the circle to themselves, but it's about to get crowded. G2, NIP, Knights all need to push into that direction. Meanwhile, on the eastern side, we have DA, Team Liquid, Desperados, N47, CrowCrowd are coming up the back. GamerLegion still down there. Don't know where the hell ENCE are going to go. They're going to find the ditch somewhere.
Right now, the issue is that the east is the only place people are, but the center and the north is the only place you can play this circle from. It's valleys, it's in the open. It's going to be so hard for people now to traverse north because the city center is already taken.
That's NIP2 lost. They've been caught up in this brawl with the Pittsburgh Knights for so long that it means that G2 have been able to get their little wrap around and third party as much. So we're seeing people crash in the city. We totally forgot about 7. They were up in the north. They've got themselves the edge of Al-Azhar. As of Digital Athletics, Team Liquid, obviously with 3 alive, managed to get in there. And now I'm seeing TSM. They're also going for the same compounds that they've won a game from when it's gone to the Al-Azhar finish, which this looks like it might go that way now.
Yeah, very well. Good reciprocity. They found themselves GamerLegion. Everyone's just been running side by side throughout this entire match so far. You can see Monkey real close, but he needs the backup from his teammates to do anything from here.
Is it going to be an underhand? No, that's an over. He doesn't...
They don't know he's there. They
haven't tracked his position at all. He's managed to keep down low and hard. Hamster's going for the peak. He really doesn't want to Makandark flank May. I don't know if it'll see him with that little ditch that he's in. I don't think Makandark's going to have to go so far, but now he'll get caught in the back. Makandark will get taken down. So it's a 1-for-1 trade. It means Monkey will be finished, and they get the revive with the blue just about to push their backs.
See Reciprocity, there's no way they can come up and help him in this situation because they're getting pushed from other sides too. They tried to make the move in, but now they're completely split and they're getting torn apart too. Unfortunately, one player down. Yeah, exactly.
From the left side, so SKUIJKE just tried to flank left. I was just thinking, who the hell just shot him there? But it's TomiL and SIMSY that are up here, so it's a three-way brawl right now with Reciprocity, kind of the Vegemite effectively in between the players. Meanwhile, down south, GamerLegion, they're making a blast for it, and Reciprocity are turning to shoot at them at the moment, so they may even join the party. We were talking about Gustav, how he'd gone in there without the rest of TSM. Well, it doesn't look like it's worked out.
Not at all. He's going to go down. 3 guys left up on the southern hills for now. Miraku as well needs to get inside the circle, but he is running into a FaZe, but like a little slalom between the hill bales there. But he's going to run straight into the guys in FaZe, and that's not going to be easy. I do not see where he goes from here.
Yeah, as soon as he gets out to the hill, there's somebody just to the left-hand side. As soon as he shows himself, the blue's pushing him as well. Fuzzy's trying to get the angle on him, so forced inside the building, nowhere really else to go. Oh, the circle yoinks up the hill. Razor Edge are laughing at life. Na'Vi as well, down on that compound. They committed to that a long time ago. FaZe Clan are going to hold this, continue to hold this western edge as well, which could work out well. And I like what CrowCrowd have done. They've continued sneaking around north. Bearing in mind, they went way down to Valador all the way around. They've almost traveled the entire map.
They have a solid 360 on the entirety of Miramar. It's not often you see that. See all these edge fights. Of course, the bottleneck is only going to get so much smaller, and we've got to keep this road in mind down by where Na'Vi is. That's practically a river. So steep and so steep on the other side, too. For these teams to have to cross that now, it's going to be suicidal.
Team Liquid have been able to sneak up the hill of El Zahar. I don't know how they've managed to get away with that, because nobody's pushed the other side. So TSM have not decided to go aggressive. Na'Vi are sitting in their compound, don't have any vision of it. Meanwhile, down very much on the edge of the circle now. This is going to get embroiled into a Phase 4 circle pushed on them, so it's going to hurt both teams regardless of how this plays out. SKUIJKE gets the knock. Udyr comes in, tries to get himself one. Can he get a second? Yes, he can. The new man at Reciprocity, formerly of G2. He's starting to deliver. A big week required for Reciprocity here, and this may be the start they need. Evil just off on the hillside there. Evil, I should say, up on the hillside. Meanwhile, Na'Vi protected G2. They're sending in a vehicle.
There's nothing Evil could do to help there. Unfortunately, they needed to deal with that fight quickly and get going. They were just stumbling over each other for way too long, and you can see the kill feed now completely and utterly lighting up. These guys need to get going, and look at the amount of kills coming in on the south.
It's TSM, GamerLegion, and ENCE all clashing with one another. We've got the Knights nearby as well. GamerLegion now done. They just ran straight into the grinder there, which is interesting, right? You think of GamerLegion, they took that southern wraparound route as well, the same as CrowCrowd. CrowCrowd went way out to the east, and they found themselves so much free open territory. As I say that, Desperados have one player out there, which is Calvin Klein. Aitzy, his vehicle's gone down, so that's him done. That's way out on the southeastern side, western side, sorry, as NIP fall down. They've been slowly losing players left and right, and Reciprocity also will bleed out. So 3 teams down already.
Gonna go down to the blue. These circles have not been easy on the guys on the battlefield today so far, it's to say the least. G2 pushing up. mxey finds one. That's Yannis down early.
This was the move, the sort of yeehaw play. Sending it G2. It didn't really work out for them. NELLOZ making a run for it as ubah goes hunting. CrZZ is still the other side of the road as well, way down there, but Fuzzface is nearby, so they're kind of keeping each other busy. NELLOZ has been found by Team Liquid, so that leaves just CrZZ standing for G2.
See, Calvin finally made his way into the cities all by himself, at least for now. You can see Mitraleius on the other side obviously heard the buggy come in there, but don't really want to over-aggress on anything. He's got his entire team there, so of course don't want to risk anything, but Sixmo finds him off of the info provided by Mitraleius, and that's going to be Desperado down.
DNA still need to creep their way through El Zahar. ENCE and TSM now clashing with each other. There's Fuzz finding CrZZ, the last man for G2. He's going to have to wrap around the blue, though, to try and get around it. That's going to start to hurt. We're in Phase 4, and it's going to buffer any minute, so double damage about to hit in as we hit Phase 5. Fuzz is going to have to get out of there before the timer counts down, and he does. Gets himself a decent angle down on CrZZ. Now, does CrZZ realize the play that's coming in? No, it doesn't matter, because Na'Vi have found him down low.
This is not going to be an easy crossing at all. He cannot get ubah and mxey's help. They can only provide assistance towards CrZZ, not Na'Vi and the other guys down the hill, because once they go to peek over, the entirety of Knights, TSM, and ENCE will be able to spot them in the open too.
This is the problem, though. Everybody that's down on the south side, which is TSM, ENCE, the Knights, you know, this G2 Fuzzface battle, they're all in desperate trouble because there's nowhere to go. They have to make this open run down a hill and up again. And all these teams will have vision of it. CrowCrowd way up in the north, causing a few problems for Team Liquid, it seems. Na'Vi trying to light Fuzzface up down on that south side as Iroh realizes him and Rory are about to get surrounded by 4 angry Finns.
There's only so much room remaining on the southern side of this road, and, well, there's not going to be room for more than one team on it, I can tell you that right now. So TSM trying to hold off ENCE, but seems like ENCE and CrowCrowd are both sending it forward.
There's 2 on a bike. They're trying it. They got away with it. Razor took a couple of shots. They come plowing into the rock, and NOOKIE was the only man that took the damage in the end. CrowCrowd spotted him again in the fields. They know he's now only in the smoke, so he's going to run to the tree line and just about gets himself safe. Doesn't look like they have the off angle. As Fuzz maybe bought himself a chance to get there across the road. Maybe he's waiting for Aitzy to lose his track. Meanwhile, down in the city, we're looking at 7 and DA all need to move out of El Azahar now. As the danger of committing, it does give you such an open, horrible route. CrowCrowd lands there. Shots required on ubah.
If he wants to have any chance of making this crossing, he needed that knock and then some. But you can see mxey, he's not giving up on it just yet.
He's like, God damn, there's another one. Oh, Senji's got Fuzz down. That leaves mxey the solo player. Now, CrowCrowd are still wrapping around that side. They may actually find FaZe here. Oh, he's going to run straight into Drayden. Drayden's ready and waiting. Meanwhile, ENCE kind of sending it, trying to get around the side, and Drayden does find him, so that's going to be G2 down in 11th place. Iroh, there's nade coming your way. It's got miikaz, his name all over it. That's going to bounce off the cliff wall as well and finds him. You see it in the kill feed. He will go down, confirmed TSM out in 10th place.
I like how Liquid turned their attention towards the city. They were looking over towards CrowCrowd, but once they knew they were gone, they turned it around because they know, good, we have the edge, we have the high ground, we need to hold these guys off, and both Digital and 7 are pushing up in that direction right now, and all Liquid has to do is push them off the other direction.
Move it down, that leaves mxey solo for FaZe Clan. Now you still have the 3 alive in the compounds. Razor loving life in their compound. Team Liquid going aggressive. 7 and Digital Athletics about to meet on the hillside outside El Azahar though, as we see Mert. You can see Sixmo, that flank position. Now he's running on the hill at the moment, but it could work out well. Mert looks down the hill and says, hello, there's an entire team down here. So Dominic and Boston trying to get caught out, gets the reload, even gets a chance to get away with the reload of the spray again. What are 7 doing? Finally they respond.
Great shots fired, but too little, too late. 7 do go down. This is the work of Liquid, forcing them back the other way, right into DA. But look at this one now. Sixmo is behind Jemty, and they haven't seen him.
No clue. Jemty's looking. He knows there's another team down here because he saw them in the kill feed. Doesn't have a clue, manages to get away with it. Goes for the re-peek, and Sixmo wasn't ready for the re-peek. And they're going to go down in 8th position. Jemty's going to hoover up the loot there. ENCE, meanwhile, you can see they're stuck across the road. They've got nowhere to go. It's still this little running battle between Drayden and Reels. Now Rustanmar caught out. That's Ibby from across the road. And that's the danger, right? Look at this. It's a valley. There's no way to get across.
And worst thing being right now, ENCE has lost all their vehicles. They tried to send it. They didn't get it going. Oof. And I don't think they have anything else to work with here. Jeem's going to go down. Great shots fired. Bike hold. Oh, they actually do have 1 bike. Okay, so 1 bike to work with.
The Razor have gone aggressive. They come out of the compound. They're going to sweep the cliffs. They're coming behind Team Liquid. Now, Ibby and Jemty, you can see them trapped here at the moment. There's a knock, and that's going to be the end of them because Razor are about to come around that hill right up behind. It may buy time for ENCE actually to try and make a play here and get across, but they've still got to deal with the Knights and Na'Vi down low.
It is simply not going to happen at this point, to be quite honest. Got 1 player left on the hills, all by himself. Drayden, you can see looking over towards SKUIJKE, and I'm just not seeing him getting out of here. Lynxy finds one that's going to be Liquid down in the end. Great push up by Razor, who didn't have any kills coming into that fight, so important points for them to pick up now. There's still so many alive.
They only got the 1 out of it because the blue zone in the end was the one that stole the kill away from him because we're at phase 6 and it's hurting. So now Razor bombing it back to the compound. They're going to try and work it from there. Don't forget CrowCrowd still have the 2 alive over on the north. mxey is still over on the west. Na'Vi still down in this little gas station area. Now they're looking for the shots onto Reels, and that looks like he may well dink his head through that tree. Does Drayden have an off angle or not? Doesn't look like it. They're in the similar spot that ENCE were. It's just this impossible mission to cross the road.
Exactly. And all that the guys in Na'Vi has to focus on right now is contain, and make sure that once the circle do come in, you got it all for yourself.
It's the Wambulance coming for the Knights guys there. I think it's Reels is not able to get himself up. So Razor Edge are now looking to clash. It's Tiikzu and NOOKIE, by the way, in the north are actually going hunting for them. As we see Real still being pinned to the wall. Drayden looking for their angle. ABeautflDeath is so sharp.
Raze knows that Raze knows that the guys in the south, they're fighting each other right now. They need to spend this time taking up as much space as they possibly can for the circle to come. Real's down to the blue. You're all by yourself, Drayden. What can you do from here?
Yeah, you can see he's trying to go hunting for it. Doesn't matter. Both going to bleed out. Now Now making their way up the hill. So it's a 3v4 v 2v1. They're the 4 teams alive. Who's going to be taken out? Is it going to be Na'Vi kicking off where they left off last week with another ENCE? They had nearly 10.6 points per game last week. It was phenomenal.
Double digits on average. That's not something you see very often, especially not with this level of play. But right now, Na'Vi is sitting in it perfectly. They wanted to clear the backside so they know they have the entire ridge line to work across, and that's going to give them so much control coming into the circle.
mxey spotted, but Razor have seen just a glimmer of CrowCrowd. CrowCrowd going very aggressive, maybe too aggressive as Adozy and co. I don't think they were ready for Na'Vi to start peeking the brow of that hill. Are they in nade range? I saw one being cooked out by Senya there. I think he's going to try and toss it. Yes, they were. CrowCrowd catches a blast in the back there and forced to back away.
A whole lot more they can do right now, Razor, than hope for the guys and CrowCrowd to start applying some pressure right now, because it seems to me like Na'Vi has got them kind of pinned down in the position they're in right now. Oh, mxey is spotted.
Lord.
He was probably hoping to just sit on the back and grind some placement points in this one, but now he's been spotted as well.
We'll have to check out Aduzi's damage. He's going to have a lot. He's been,
and they only have 1 kill so far.
Let's say all the tags he did on the Knights and ENCE on TSM on that hillside there. You just saw him just a single tap, catching another and another. This boy absolutely delivers when he needs to. mxey, though, has got a wraparound. He's gone back behind CrowCrowd. Oh, BestLoss tries to keep Razor Edge busy. Let's keep your eye on it in the picture-in-picture. We might see mxey making a play here on CrowCrowd. I think he just caught a glimpse of NOOKIE there.
Yeah, he's been spotted. Dozy held the angle. He said, I'm not going to give up on this one. He could probably feel there was a solo player lurking around somewhere. He's going to go down to FaZe, out in 4th place. Still a good placement overall. They got a few kills with him too, so not the worst game considering everything.
Big knock. And Razor Edge going to push on that. So Senya's about to get pressured. Razor Edge trying to make the run. Now Senya's just to the left-hand side. They're not looking. They're not looking towards him, but it doesn't matter. NOOKIE's caught him in the open. Senya gets the knock down. And the play they tried to make. Now, Lynxy does get Tiikzu down, so that leaves CrowCrowd just down to NOOKIE. He's got to go back and revive, and that puts Na'Vi now on the back foot. But they've got Aduzy back up. CrowCrowd buying Na'Vi time.
Sixy knew he had to make that crossing, and he tunnel vision getting down there, but Senya was there to help out, and now best of luck. Missing a few shots over towards Guys and called them ENCE and company on the backside, but seems like they're committed to get them dealt with quickly, because they know once we peek over here, once we take the fight with one team, the other team is there to shoot at us immediately.
Good molly, close molly, that one being tossed out. If it was just slightly to the right, that would have been on to top of Coldementer's head. And I know the Spaniard likes some heat, but I think that may have been a little too much for him. Lynxy just getting absolutely bodied by Tiikzu there with the SKS. Returning favor. Oh, and he's gone. That is going to be Razor Edge down to 2 now. And 2 really unnecessary deaths may well lead to Na'Vi picking themselves a victory here, because now they have 3 strong.
And that's the danger of this terrain. Leave yourself hidden from one team, it's going to leave you exposed to another, and everyone is trying to get every little bit of damage done they can do in this area of the map. Aitzy looking over the top, trying to get the angle down towards Razor Edge, and look at this, they're sitting on the circle. The guys right now, they have a dip to work with, you can see them proning, but they will have to start going in just a couple of seconds.
I mean, look at the vision they have there. There's nothing. And Na'Vi could come over the brow of that hill, 2 different angles, they'll have no chance. So Razor Edge kind of sitting and waiting this one out. Na'Vi, well, BestLosh's position is pretty much close to the center, so they have the entire ridgeline to work with. It's down to these 2 teams. They either take each other out or they try and put up a fight against Na'Vi, but Na'Vi are definitely in the driving seat now. Yeah,
Na'Vi is playing this one perfectly. Keep 1 guy on the east side and 2 guys to hold the backside safe. That's exactly how you want to play it. And I mean, they have the dot as well. BestLosh sitting right in there. I don't see anyone getting out of this one in a win than Na'Vi in this game.
NOOKIE once again coming over the peak. He has the tiniest of rocks. mxey goes down, Coldementer. You can see it's the smallest of margins. They're going for the double peak together. They realize they have to get the damage down on CrowCrowd, but then Na'Vi turn and respond, and they get both down. mxey goes down, Na'Vi come in and just roll through. It is only a 5-kill victory, but it's the start that the boys in yellow wanted, and you can see BestLosh, you know, it's just like just going about the business. In fairness, yeah, they're just carrying the kills there, and yeah, it was only a 5-kill game. They were in the compound from a very early position, obviously up in the north. They committed to that, and it's one of those compounds that you've got to commit to, and if it does swing south, it may cost you. but it paid off.
It can be dangerous. They're literally in the valley, sitting down there. And the thing is, everybody knows there's going to be a team in that valley, so we'll avoid it. Hence why they didn't have any kills before the very end, because the guys they were trying to shoot at were also fighting each other, and they didn't get any flashes in on it.
Yeah, and it shows, again, the dangers if you commit to the town. So all those that committed to Al-Zahar, well, Aigaj got absolutely smashed. Everybody that was on the south side, that was a bit of a bloodbath. Not really anywhere to go there. I really like what CrowCrowd did. We talked about it early on. GamerLegion, I think, went out in 16th, if I'm not mistaken. And CrowCrowd ended up in, what, second there? Based on the fact that they both went way down south. One went off to the east, one went off to the west. Or almost tried to run through the middle. I'm not too sure what GamerLegion was trying, but CrowCrowd's, their rotation went way around and it worked out so well.
And it goes to show with what they've been doing. They're the only team coming into this week that had more placement points than kill points. They want to get to the late game. If they get there with 4 people, they'll split out, they'll start shooting. But they don't need those kills within the first 5 circles. They just want to get to that next one, and they managed to do that.
Yeah, if you think of the games they had, obviously they had the close 1v1 with Team Liquid. I think it was Samty or Gemty, I'm not so sure, one of the twins. Then they also had the battle where they lost